Hello, fellow Kerbal. This is Nebby, starting here right in a new series with some action. This is the one launch of the communication network. I'm gonna set up a little communication network with some satellites. I hope I can cover all my missions. Otherwise, when we see this nice launch here. Otherwise, I would have to send some more communication with or after some missions to finally, get some access back, get some control, keep some control. Okay, so this is number one. This is not a new save game. I unlocked quite a few things already. Took almost all the science I could get from, or I took all the science I could get, I remember to get from Minimus. So, yeah, that unlocks you quite a few items. Having a few mods installed. So I have, for example, the keythane, the interstellar, and the communication network is not a mod. It's called the remote control mod, or remote tag or whatever. It allows you, or it forces you to have a proper communication setup to actually follow all of your unmanned spacecraft. Manned is not so bad if you want to send some communication out. You like the reports, Q reports or whatever. Seeing here, I sent just up some communication that we don't lose the signal. Because for the unmanned spacecraft, if you don't have a direct link or a link over a few other satellites, you will not be able to control the craft. There's also a delay added to the whole thing. So when you do send some command over to, you can see here, I'm setting up and trying out the system, but that's the flight computer. We just saw that you have to set up your nodes and your maneuvers, and it'll be sent out to the spacecraft, respectively to the delay it will have. For example, the Rosetta mission, they had, I think, like a 30-minute delay in the commands and feedback they got back from the mission. So that's quite a long time. And if you reach out to far planets here in this system, in the Kerbal system, of course, we will have the same a huge delay. So this is start number 2 we see. It actually is start number 3, as some of you might have seen just a second ago, that I set up an orbit already around some other craft. So we'll see how that turns out. Yes, I'm launching a night again. Doesn't really matter in this case. This start, I messed it up a little bit. Just setting up the controls, not extending yet the paths, even though we're at 100-kilometer height. There is no air pressure, atmosphere, or whatever, so it would be safe to get him out. In this, we'll see in a second, I tweaked the orbit too soon, too close to the final orbit, and therefore he's not catching up that fast, and I have to wait like 10 days to get him into position. There we see the maneuver. Oh, not the maneuver, but the set of the note. I currently have some guys on the moon. They doing pretty much the same what they did in Minimus. It's our 3 immortal, or not so much immortal guys, Jebediah, Bill, and Bob. And they are hopping to, or one of them is hopping on the moon from biome to biome. I got a little help there. I'm using a biome map. Oh, we see the next launch. This one is for, let's say, deep space communication. It has one of those 400G antennas. The remote tech will give you a few antennas more than already the stock ones. You see one here up on top. It's the huge one, and yeah, the stock ones also enable you to get quite some distance, but if you leave Kerbal system, then scene here, just setting up communications to the different ComSats. Yeah, the guys on the moon. We'll see some of them, I guess, in the second episode. They're already there. They have a space lab and a lander that goes down, takes to biomes, and then it has to go up to the lab to be reset. So this one, this satellite here, we're sending it out far, far away. Well, not leaving the system. It's actually supposed to stay in there and hopefully enable me to communicate with the spacecrafts that leave the Kerbal system, the Kerbal sphere of influence. So we'll see. We see here. Just try to set it up just below, or just a little above minimus. So losing control here, having to set up the communications to the deep cell, and there it's going. Okay, cool. So communications back, and then yeah, well, okay, he set up more than just this one satellite, just to make sure. And the third one as well. Okay, cool. So gain back communications. There we have the signal, and we can tweak our orbit, or the orbit we want to. Okay, cool. We're just setting it up a little over, what is it, 65 million kilometers? What is it? Yeah, million. Right. Million kilometers. So just outside of minimus, as I said. Yeah, hope to hold most of the communications with that. I realized that I probably need some help on a mission that was sent out by accident. I just wanted to kind of try my landers for Joule, because as we can see there on the left corner in the alarm clock, I have a Joule window coming up. And to support them, I thought like, oh, I might need more communication, so I'm setting up this one to leave Kerbal sphere of influence and be in a high orbit. I don't remember how much I set it up. We'll see. That is nice also. Yeah, we'll see what orbit it ends up, but I think something between Duna and us, or Joule, or whatever, somewhere far out. So the problem is it just has one of the big antennas, so probably that's not really sufficient for me. So I'm still thinking to send some more communication satellite down to Joule, because the window is coming up. Why not? And with enough fuel, I can maybe bring it somewhere else. Yes, this one, as I said, there are guys on the moon. They were sent there before I installed this mod, the remote tech, and therefore they do have an antenna, which is for the stock version sufficient to communicate from the moon to Kerbal, but not with remote tech. So I have to bring up this one. I'll set it up in a highly inclined moon orbit to ensure, or hopefully ensure, that there's always a line of sight, sorry, to Kerbal, or to the ComSats outside of Kerbal, that I have communications all the time, and the antenna there is big enough, strong enough to keep communications with the capsule downstairs, down on the moon, and then send the data back to Kerbal. So I'll receive some science for it. Science. I'm out for science here. Of course, in the time playing, I'm gonna unlock the whole system, the whole tag tree. Okay, so this guy is just going out. I got the targeted the moon there, so I don't care about a big efficiency. I just need to send this thing out, and it has more than enough delta V. Definitely. It's a little overpowered maybe, but you know, I can bring it wherever I like inside the Kerbal system. So it's the basic ComSat, you know, with those antennas. DMTS. One they have like, I don't know what, 40, 20, million kilometers. So even they are not enough to send data to the moon or Minmus. So you need the bigger ones, and it has two of them. The Communitron 88 or what it is. I think it's Communitron 88 or 88/88 or whatever. And those ones are enough, definitely. For gigameters, I think it says it's a huge G, so whatever it means. I hope the biggest one is sufficient enough to send signals to the whole system. So all set up, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And yeah, have a great time, have fun playing, and see ya.